I spent $1 million on coaches, and here's what I learned. Now, I've invested over 8 years now, $1 million on coaches, would you believe? And I remember the first time that I invested in a course, and it was the hardest thing for me to do. And that is because the money that I was earning from my job was so little that if I didn't succeed at the course that I invested in, that it was going to be very hard for me to come back from that. And you're gonna find out later in this video why that is important, what I just said. Now, the first thing that I've learned from all the coaches that I've worked with is you've got to have clarity. You've got to know what is it that you want in your life and in your business. Now, when you grow up and you go to university and school and whatnot, I remember for me, at least when I was in school, that I was told to go to university, get a job, and do that for 40, 50 years and pay off my uni debt, and that would be my life. Now, that's what my parents and the government and the school told me to do. And because I didn't know who I was and what I was passionate about, that is why I went that direction. And I wasn't clear. So it's very hard to know what to do when you don't know who you are. Most people make decisions of what to do based off seeing a limited version of the self. And that is the problem. And that is why you need to have the second step that I learned from all these coaches that I invested in. And that is you have to be very, very aware of what are your belief systems. What do you believe is possible for yourself? Now, the reason why that is relevant is because your beliefs determine your feelings, and your feelings determine the behaviors that you produce. And the behaviors that you produce determine the results in your life. You are where you are right now because of the sum total of actions or behaviors that you have produced up until now. And in order to do something different you've never done before, you're going to have to believe something different you've never believed before. Now, all beliefs carry with them consequences. Ask yourself, how many beliefs do you have that are causing you to make limited choices in your life, and you're having negative consequences from these choices? They've done studies and research and found that 80% of people that are in their jobs or in their work, that they are unhappy in those jobs or that work. And that is not a formula. And I believe that you should choose what you are passionate about and from a place of knowing that you can achieve anything. So that is why I decided to invest and empty my bank account into a coaching course back in 2014. Now, after you have found out what your beliefs are, and I believe done the inner work to change them and transform them, that is why I recommend neurotransformation therapy, which our next one is coming up in Sydney, March 16 to 18. It's going to be extraordinary to transform your beliefs. So, because that's changing what you do. Now, the third thing that you really need to know, that it was the hardest thing for me to swallow out of all the successful people that I learned from, and that is you have to have strong work ethic. You have to work hard. Now, I struggled with that at the beginning because I was very lazy. I remember growing up, I would sleep into about 10 or 11 a.m. and my mum couldn't get me out of bed. It was very hard. And then I started realizing that that was having very negative consequences for my life, and I found my pop, and my pop was a very hard worker. He would work from 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning, all day. And so I started helping him to work on his house, actually. And that's where I started to develop more work ethic. And then I found a lot of other jobs that I used to work very hard in. And as I learned from very successful people, I found that they would be waking up, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and most of them anyway, that were working all the way till late at night. And that's something that I'm doing at the moment. I'm actually starting from about 6 a.m. working all the way up till about 9 generally, 9 at night. And I do have some breaks, and I don't always start at 6, sometimes start at 7, 7:30, but you're gonna need to have strong work ethic, right? Once you know what you want, as David Goggins said, you've got to get to fucking work. And that is the way to achieve your goals. I hope that's helped you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to this video and look forward to seeing you in the next one.